All right, as we start the show, and I pop up the script, it's ready to go.
Oh shit, I didn't do that yet.
A real professional.
A real pro
It's like
here.
you've done this before.
I have a couple times.
It's like this is your job or something.
Okay, here we go. Welcome back to 5A, 5B. We're going to recap the week that was. Playoffs here as we get ready now for the road show in, 2 weeks?
All I see is Shepherd's Pies.
April 13th, April 14th, yeah? That's when we get that shit rolling over here.
Mo, you ready for a tradition like none other?
Yeah, we're actually, was it you, Simona? We're discussing what we're doing for Saturday postgame?
No.
Reeze, was it you or was it? Yeah, was it you I spoke to you about? We said,
No.
oh, the 13th?
Oh, yes. What are we doing? Because there's 2 nights.
There's 2 nights, yeah. So
I need to see when my Uber Black driver where he's taking me.
Mo was saying, "Oh, let's go to Chinois twice," and I said,
No.
I said, "Can we go to a real restaurant once?"
Yeah, I said we go somewhere one night to go the other one. That's all.
So like Five Guys?
Five Guys.
I'm
Yeah, sure,
curious.
why not?
I'm
Not
curious
fun.
to see what Mo's real restaurant is. Like, when was the last time you went to like a restaurant that had cloth napkins?
No, I went to Alep not too long ago.
Alright, that's pretty good.
That's a
That's
very good
pretty
spot.
Low key good. Like a lot of people don't know it in the city. It's a good
Yeah,
restaurant.
off of Jean Talon. That's a very good
Yeah.
spot.
We should go on Mo. Me and you date night.
We could, yeah. We could
Be
do
fun.
it. Yeah,
I like it a lot.
I like the meat. Very good.
They're known for the meat.
Mo loves it.
Terry
I'm
knows
known
the
for
spot.
meat.
The Greek spot off the 13.
Off the 13.
Yeah.
What, a restaurant?
Yeah, the restaurant.
On the 13 and what?
Somewhere in Laval West.
There's a place Mo
Very, very
told me
popular
about.
spot.
Talking about West Antonio's?
No, that's the pizza spot.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about the Greek spot. No.
Slovakia bar?
No.
Oh, Village Grec?
Is
On
it Village Grec?
Samson?
All of these
Yeah, I
sound
think
terrible,
so.
by the way.
No, Village Grec is very good.
Yeah,
The one in
Village
Laval is
Grec's
very
very
good.
good, yeah.
But if you want the best gyro,
Yeah, it's there.
no, it's not there. It's Elatos. It's in
Okay,
Parquet.
but that's
Oh.
also not real restaurants. That's fast food.
No, it's a real restaurant.
I mean, you haven't.
Stop.
Okay, if you want the best Greek food, it's actually cool. Oh, you're probably talking about Tripoli.
No, I went to Village Grec.
Village Grec. It's good there, actually. I like it.
What's the place you told me about on Jean Talon, the Indian place?
No, it wasn't.
It was like a dime a dozen there.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like on Jean Talon.
But there's one that's
Six
really
block
good.
radius, 17
There's one
restaurants.
that's really good.
Yeah,
It's
there's
like,
one that
what's
has
that-
numbers
it's like,
on it.
what's
like
that bakery in
785 or
RDP?
something. It's good there.
Okay,
Who are you?
I'm Mokan.
I'm Simon.
I'm Peeze, and I've been worried about water consumption since the first podcast tonight.
I'm worried about you preferring shepherd pie to tortilla.
No, I prefer tortilla.
Yes, Eagle.
I'm ego and my blood sugar level is too high.
We're gonna do your blood. We're gonna do the blood sugar level next week. Actually, can't
Yeah,
wait.
testing that shit.
I'm Terry. I'm off camera because my hair is mesmerizing.
It's
Perfect.
beautiful.
Let's
I can't-
talk
I
about.
can't stop looking at you.
Let's talk about these mesmerizing games. Tetson Hammocks against Les Voyous, the 4 versus 5 matchup. Hammocks win 39-32. So, are we impressed by Les Voyous' season in 5A, gentlemen?
Listen, honestly, coming into the season, I didn't have high expectations for Voyou. They're right, like it's a bunch of guys that we didn't really know, but they play really well. They play hard. Most games, every time I would turn around, like I was quick up on Mokan and Dagenais, and I would turn around and Voyou would be playing, and I would be impressed with what they've been doing. They finished in the 5th seed. It's a good seeding to finish in 5A, all things considered, and they play Tense Dynamics hard.
We discussed. We first discovered them when they beat Nakatomi Survivors, and we're like, yeah,
Beat up Nakatomi.
these guys are really good. Nakatomi Survivors are not. But like a guy like Vincent Leganier is just been like a revelation in FPF. Like he's just been consistent for the team. I'm excited to see Les Voyous moving forward, and they gave Tense Dynamics, who are an established group of players from that Hall of Fame system that Joey Taylor created. They're one of the teams in that family tree, and they give them a run for their money.
The only problem is you can't have 2 guys go for 27 receptions, 230 yards, and 6 touchdowns. Like Danny Elward and Alex Joltopov did all the damage by themselves. 27 of the 28 receptions. The problem is I've seen Tense Dynamics play this season, and when things go bad, Brandon only goes to these 2 guys. But, I mean, at some point, you should pick up on it when they have 27 receptions.
Yeah.
Well, here's the game that I saw: GLC against Longhorns, 2 versus 7 matchup. Horns winning this
What
game.
happened, Mokan?
Well, the Horns won 32-25.
Right? GLC's your boys.
Yes. You know what? One thing I learned about the Longhorns, as nice as they are, they're also dirty. They push a lot.
Well, they're old and slow.
They push a lot.
They have
Also,
to.
because in the Kirkland Touch League, there's a lot of that.
Yeah.
So,
No, these guys
And
push
that's what
a
they're
lot.
used to playing with.
What happened was, look, straightforward. GLC had no answer for Adam Rosen or Chris Rosen. They both had big games. And the younger Rosen was torching that defense. It was
fast,
nonstop. And it's surprising because you have Minnie Cardishaw, Justin Pavillon, you have athletes on that defense that could lock up with him, and he was just running
Yeah,
circles.
but Adam doesn't look fast, but he is, man.
Yeah, he could tell him the route he's running, and they still wouldn't stop him. And they had no answer from whatsoever.
Doesn't he only run doesn't he run post and flies?
And deep drags or
Yeah.
drags.
No, and drags, that's true.
But then
Post.
I
Yeah.
think the turning point in the game was with, I think, a minute and a half left. Hyman Luong driving. They're in the 5-yard line. Rolls out to his right. He throws an end zone INT picked off by Rosen, and game set and match done and done. And I think GLC let them off the hook, to use the Denny Green line, the late great Denny Green. And put it this way, Longhorns step up to the plate and they answer the call of not being a one and done and now move on to the next round.
So Longhorns don't have John Moody as a quarterback, right? They have
No,
Eugene
he's a
McLaren.
receiver now.
Would they have won this game with John Moody?
No, I don't think so.
Really?
No.
I think it would have been about the same.
So you think
Eugene McLaren was much more confident in making his throws.
I mean,
So
he
you're
has- he has
saying
great
is-
stats this season.
John Moody's not a confident person. Like when,
I think
when, he-
John
when he
Moody's
punches
very
in
streak.
his like ATM code, he's like, I don't know if there's money in here.
But John Moody is one of those guys that it's very high highs, but also like very low lows. Like he's gonna have games where he throws 4 interceptions or 7 touchdowns, but there's no middle with John Moody.
Terry, can you fact check whether or not there's a middle when it comes to John Moody?
All right, rolling with my homies. Buffalo Wild Wings. The Mahomies win 31-13.
Yeah,
It's a bad matchup for Buffalo Wild Wings.
I saw a bit of the game. It was on It was on field 2. Buffalo Wild Wings looked like barbecue chicken. Like they were done.
Rolling my homies is a good team. Buffalo Wild Wings, they're not a bad team, but they were outclassed. Like it's
I got an answer.
Okay.
Students get ready to check out the new Moody Middle School. So yes, there is a middle in John Moody.
Looks like you're wrong, bro. Thank you, Terry.
I feel like this
Fact.
is first of all, this is a bad draw from Buffalo Wild Wings because they can't really keep up with Roma Homies. But on top of that, like Roma Homies is somehow the 3rd seed, and they're very strong 3rd seed, whereas Buffalo Wild Wings are like on the weaker side.
Yeah.
It feels like there's a huge parity in 5A between like the top 4 and the bottom 4.
What I like about Buffalo Wild Wings is they always try to make it look like they're playing man. Although when you look at your personnel, you know there's no way they're playing man. So it's like they're trying.
Yeah,
They're trying to disguise their looks, but it doesn't work.
Well, the game that really was probably the best one in the match was Outlaws against Ravens, the 1 versus 8 matchup.
Yeah.
And Outlaws winning the game by 6, 33-27. Now, here's the storyline of the day is that
Give me.
late in the first half, Ravens, well, first off, Outlaws got off to a slow start. INT, 4 and out. They had a 4 and out from their own 15-yard line.
Yeah.
Ravens score, but the thing was, and the key was Kevin Smoota in that whole drive when the Ravens scored the touchdown. He called 2 timeouts to preserve time plus plays because they were getting the ball in the second half. So they gambled that they would score with plays and get the ball in the second half. 20-9 lead. They score 20-15. They go into halftime. They get the ball back.
We're big proponents of timeouts in the first half.
Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely.
Both Simone and I often call timeouts in the first half because
Yeah,
you don't know if you need them in the second half. You know for certain in that situation you need the extra time.
Absolutely.
In the first half.
If there's 2 minutes
Absolutely.
left in the first half and the other team's past midfield, burn timeouts because if they score fast, they give you 4, 5, 6, 7 plays, which you know you're gonna get. Second half, you might be the team with the ball with 2 minutes left, which you don't want to take timeouts because you don't want to give the ball back. I've been chewed by a lot of referees, tackle referees, saying you're stupid for taking timeouts in first half.
Yeah, well maybe they should learn FPF.
And I said, well, it's
But that's if you have an actual physical clock that you can see.
Well, you can
And
ask the
if the time doesn't
Which we will for the finals.
which will for the finals. But I'm saying if the time doesn't stop after 22 minutes,
but you have to
you know what I
ask
mean?
them,
If there's
right?
an actual
Yeah,
time,
yeah.
like if
No.
it ends at 22
Yeah.
minutes, then you don't need it.
But then
Yeah.
they scored, right? And the first half, they get the ball back. They score. They're back in the game, up by 1, going back and forth. It's tied up 27 apiece here. Joel has the ball inside, literally the 4-yard line. 4 cracks the end zone. Donuts. Nothing. Gets stopped at the 2-yard line. So Outlaws get the ball back. They score with 2 plays left. Game's all but set and done. Ravens had the Outlaws literally on the plank to be kicked off the boat into the sea of sharks, and they couldn't do it at all. And
But sharks are shallow water fish.
Whatever.
Shallow water mammals. That's where they do their feeding.
And wouldn't the Ravens be in more like a forest
Can you
setting?
fact check that, please?
perhaps.
Where do sharks do their feeding?
More like a woody area. Maybe
But
they,
they
fall into,
had
like,
them-
quicksand.
they had them on the
Ravens
ropes.
pick
Bear
on,
cave.
like pirates and outlaws?
What?
Wouldn't ravens, like
No.
actual birds, would pick on like outlaws and pirates?
So
No.
like humans can't defeat a stupid bird?
Well, it depends. Is it like a flock of ravens? Like, or just
It's not
5,000
a-
ravens?
It's not a turkey vulture.
No, which
also
went to
Eagle.
Stephen A's
Is it-
office store.
So like, it's a murder of crows. Is it? What's it of ravens?
Isn't it flock or
A
raven?
flock of ravens.
Is it a flock? I know it's a
That's what
flock
I
of
said.
seagulls.
Flock.
I don't know that for sure.
No, it's actually a Congress.
Yes,
of
a
ravens.
Congress of
It's
ravens.
amazing.
So
Badass.
yeah, no, the
Congress
Ravens,
of
the Ravens
Ravens.
had them. The Ravens had them
Yeah.
on the ropes. They just couldn't. They
So-
couldn't find the touchdown, and they lost this game. Matt Wool, they had no answer from Kevin Smuda was phenomenal. Made a clutch third down grab to prolong drives, and it was the battle of the big man. But at the end of the day, Joel Lewell, it's on him. He couldn't close it out when he had a chance.
So, was this terrible scorekeeping, or was all the scoring done in the first half?
The first one.
Okay.
What you said first.
All right.
Oh, was the score? The second half wasn't. Sometimes it happens.
It shouldn't.
So,
That happens.
I mean,
So
all you
they
have do is
tend
press
to
button.
eat in deeper water.
Oh, my mistake.
Yeah.
I gotta start watching some more
So-
Shark Week.
But because they do eat a lot of
Who
shellfish
are
that are
you?
at the bottom of the water, but they also do eat seals that are above water, but they do most of their feeding below. Like
Who are you?
very deep.
Thank you, Terry.
No
Are you
problem. That's what I'm
Simon?
here for.
What?
Are you Simon saying things that are not facts?
I asked him to check it though. I actually am curious about the truth, so I asked Terry. You just say anything and hope there's no truth.
Sure.
All right, Spartans beat up on touch by Angelini. An ugly game, 21-14. I know Stefano.
Say it.
Berardi-
Say it again. Who won this game?
Spartans.
How much did they make you cry?
It
lot.
was definitely.
A lot of tears.
I don't know why you hate them.
Also, how do you win a game throwing 4 picks?
Yeah, well, he threw them in the first half.
That's
But
amazing.
still-
Andrea.
Your opponent throw 3.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, so if I'm playing a non-quarterback position, and my name is Gordon Ogan, and I pick off the other quarterback 3 times and we lose, I'm done. Like, what more do you want from me?
I don't know.
Like, what more can you ask from your teammates? 3 interceptions on defense in a playoff game, and we don't win? I'd be pissed off.
Yeah.
I'm not your friend anymore. I'm sorry.
I mean, Gordon Hogan's also a remarkably friendly guy, so I don't think that'll be the
Yeah,
case.
that's true. He's
But-
nicer than I am.
But look, this is James Andrea. It's high volatility. He's gonna take shots. He's gonna make mistakes, and he knows I have the defense to keep me in the game, and that's what happened.
Yeah, but they can't get away with this against better teams, though.
You keep saying that.
They
So
won't get
we'll
away
see.
with this.
Well,
We'll see.
we'll see when we do the previews.
Yeah,
In some time.
yeah.
I'd say a few minutes, but I know better.
They got Voodoo coming up next. And that was the thriller that they had with Voodoo, I think 3 weeks ago in Brossard when they won on the last play, which gave them the higher seed.
So Spartans won again. Like, to keep winning games, you keep trashing them for reasons.
okay,
Yeah.
Like, they're like
It
the
was.
nicest people too. Like, they're a nice team. I don't know why he ranks them.
37-34 for the Spartans in Brossard. Yeah.
Sounds like they can't score.
Last play. Took him to the last play, beat my Voodoo.
But James only threw 1.
Super Saiyans outclass.
Did you hear that? Did you not hear "Beat My Voodoo"?
Yes, my
Yeah.
every tough Voodoo.
That's
That
like
was awesome.
Naturally,
I was
came
letting
off
it
the
sit.
tongue. Brocasian getting beaten up,
He
25
beat his
nothing.
voodoo that naturally rolls off the tongue. Sorry, you were saying?
Brocasian losing 25 nothing to Super Saiyans.
yeah,
any shock?
that's what we thought was gonna happen.
that's a wash, man.
I think they're finished. Brocasian. as a
Lots
franchise.
of big versus not a lot of big.
So where does Brocasian go from here, Peeze?
I think they're finished.
Do you go back to Christian Santos as a quarterback?
I don't think
Do
they can. I
you
don't think they.
try to
I
build
don't-
onto this.
I don't think they have the personnel to have Christian Sarantella throw in a higher division. So I think they either need to find a quarterback or they need to develop with Justin Sarantola.
I mean, Justin
continue
didn't
to
have
give
a
him time.
bad season.
I-
This was a terrible game.
I really believe they're finished.
Like, what if they go to like Division E?
I'm telling you, I think they're
No,
finished. Someone I spoke to within that team said, I don't think we're going to come back.
That's sad.
And that was as of the last Sunday of regular season games.
Before the playoffs.
Yeah, this look. I don't think we're coming back. So I think they're finished, man.
Maybe.
All signs are point towards them being finished, but it could change in the next 2-3 weeks. But
Listen, I think that Justin Sarantola could be a good quarterback in like Division E, right? Like it's a step down from 5, but he wasn't bad in 5. Put him in the weaker division.
was
I honestly,
thrusted into
I honestly
that
felt that
position.
the worst part of their team was their defense. It just was soft. Guys were
Yes.
very reactive.
Yeah, they don't take chances, but like, it's not a bad. These guys know what they're doing. It's not a bad core. They've won championships before.
Mm-hmm.
I think Justin Sarantola did win 2 championships.
yeah, but again, different era of football. Voodoo, Palpatine.
Yeah, it was.
Mo, tell
So-
me about this.
No, the scoreline's not indicative of what the game was. Voodoo
Because-
was a complete control. Gronk had a couple of outbursts, thinking it was 2 feet when it was 1 foot in for his teammate in the back of the end zone. Didn't play well. Our boy Marc-Andre Delaunay.
I've heard he played well in the first half.
He played well in the first half because Voodoo didn't catch on to his offense until the second half, and they adjusted. And you can see every time Marc-Andre Delaunay went short, it'd be like 3 red shirts to one of his teammates, and they knew he couldn't throw deep. And it was obvious when he had to throw deep, his Hail Mary was probably equivalent to 18 yards in length. And quite frankly, Frank K looked relaxed, did not look like he was full of angst at all. And Voodoo knew they had this game in complete control. Pat Saint-Romain, phenomenal. No answer for him. He had a 40-bomb touchdown. Twice went deep, actually, Frank's offense. So, quite frankly, this was not a...
Quite frankly.
Yeah, exactly.
Well done.
This wasn't a game that was a real test for Voodoo. They'll get that against Spartans next week. But, look, for Marc-Andre Delaunay, no shame losing to Voodoo. But at the end of the day, if he wants to take that next step as a quarterback, he's got to probably get a little bit more of a playmaking core to work with.
So one throw in particular, there was a drag and he threw it 10 yards over the receiver's head. Or 10 feet, whatever's less. 10 feet, I guess.
Not yards.
Yeah, let's go.
Maybe
10
that's
yards.
why
Let's
you
go 10
struggle.
yards.
Maybe that's why you're still the sixth
I
quarterback.
know. But that's all footwork, right? So if you're
Yes.
not like positioning your feet properly, if you're not turning your hips properly, that ball will sail on you, and that's what happened. And Voodoo exposed the fact that Marc-Andre...
He gets very frustrated, though.
Well, but the thing is, he's frustrated, and it's sort of like my golf swing. I know I'm doing it wrong, but I don't know how to fix it. That's what Marc-Andre is with his footwork.
But sometimes
it works,
So
exactly.
you're like, whatever, I'll play with this.
He's gotten away with it for so long that...
But he also had like a very successful season where, like, because he started off bad, then he got very good quickly, and now he's sort of plateaued where he is. But that also pushed him into a higher division.
But similar, you and I have got this. So like, you sort of improve to a point, and then there's a plateau, and you get really frustrated. But there's more improvement to come.
Yeah.
But just that the improvement, it's not like a continuous line, right? Like you're not gonna get better every single. Or else, like all of us would be Division 1 quarterbacks, right? So like, there's gonna be peaks and valleys on the way to improvement, right?
Once you hit that plateau, you basically what happens is you get better for Div 6, but then you face Div 5 defenses that are better, and you sort of have to adapt to that. And I think that's where he is. So we expected him to be better than what he, not better than what he is, but there's a learning curve here that he needs to go through, and this is the season to do that. This is Palpatine. This is Marc-Andre learning.
All right,
Terry, can you look up if there's a learning curve for Palpatine?
So Brothers against No Show.
I actually looked up what Palpatine meant. I had no idea what it is.
Yeah.
Can you look up what Dark Vader is?
So what's interesting is it's a Star Wars reference.
Yeah.
But Marc-Andre Delaunay has never watched Star Wars and wrote Dark Vader on his jersey.
He watches it in
instead of
French.
Darth Vader. No, he said he never watched it. He said he wasn't a Star Wars
he had
fan.
to have watched it.
Yes. You probably watched it in French, and like it.
Didn't realize.
The
What is
name's still not Dark Vader.
But Palpatine is Sheev Palpatine, and it's...
Okay, next
weird.
game, Okan.
All right, we got Brothers against No Show.
Hey,
Brothers.
you think he knows the tragedy of dark plagueist wives?
No.
I don't believe he does.
No Show upset City over Brothers Wing
huge
2013. Now, look, I score kept their game against these guys. It was the last game of the year Wednesday at Hebert. Complete mess. No Show were no shows. They got ripped by Brothers. Perhaps Brothers came in underestimating the
Picked up a
No
bunch
Show
of guys on the
rosters.
fields just so they could have 6. They busted the cap by accident somehow with 6 guys because they just picked up. Hey, you want to play football? Here, play for us.
If they hadn't done that, they would have been a Category 1 forfeit, and they wouldn't have made playoffs. So
Yeah.
actually, smart move.
Yeah, no,
as
but
weird
they-
as it sounds.
They had to get guys, right? So they just picked up a
Sven
bunch of
Sander
guys.
choked this game. Like this
Oh,
this whole Brothers team did not play well. They
So
were
again, like
awful.
he's a developing quarterback. He's learning the position.
He's the first one to say he's not a good quarterback.
Yeah. So it's not choking. No Show's defense, when this is the roster, is a good defense.
They're better than what they look like. Their quarterback play is terrible. Eddie
Yes.
Lee is garbage.
Yes.
But I could say that because they're a friend of mine. But their defense
I
is
can say it because it's accurate.
it's also very
Eddie Lee, you suck.
But their defense is
Very
very
handsome,
good.
though.
Like Eddie Lee is a good defender. Dom Benevento is a good defender. And the problem is these guys can cover so much ground by themselves that they help the guys that they're
And
around.
Troy Green, too. Troy Green's not someone people know in FPF, but he's a very good player.
Yeah.
Well, Kevin Loisel.
Yeah.
Also very good.
I was telling Eddie and Don, I go, guys, if this guy, he's a basketball player. I know he is from the community. Was one of the top players in Montreal years ago. If this guy actually played football back in his heyday, he could have gone pretty far. With his size, his feet, his hands, he was a matchup problem all game yesterday for the Brothers, who did not have an answer for him whatsoever. And I thought like there was one play in the game where Eddie Lee made a great move to avoid the pass rush. He stepped up in the pocket and made a deep throw on a 3rd and long. Guy caught it for him, but a flag was implemented. Reason why? Because Eddie Lee was a yard past the line of scrimmage.
Come on, Eddie.
Pass.
Kevin Lozel's that big guy with the long hair, right?
No, he's on long hair. He's
No?
just a big guy.
He's like
a big guy.
6'5".
Yeah.
6'6".
Yeah, he's a
Okay,
very
yeah.
big guy.
So
Okay,
I don't think the hair matters to the point.
I thought they would have imploded and game over, but they kept their cool and they came through in the clutch to win that
no,
football
they're
game.
good. They're a better team than what we give them credit for.
3-2 Columbus.
I saw that before. All right, 5B. Let's go 5B before we do the previews for 5A and
Okay.
5B. Honey Martin, player recognition. This is the game of the week.
Hey, Eagle, that's the game you talked about way too early an hour ago.
So a little bit of controversy in this one. Player recognition on a scoring drive.
second or third down.
Yeah, the QB. I imagine it was Nick Santale. How do you pronounce it? Senacle?
Exactly.
There we go. He went on a run,
Jericho.
and his flag fell off while he was running, not sacked by the actual rusher. And then as he's running into the end zone, one of the Honey Martin players reaches out to try and touch him. Because we have it on film and a great angle by Lance Daniel, we see that the hand doesn't actually touch him at all. It misses by like maybe half an inch or so. Like there's enough space where it's visible on film,
but the fact
the
that it's
angle of the
slow-mo.
referee, it looks like he's touching him. So what should have been a touchdown and basically player recognition taking a lead on that play ends up being a down by contact pretty much. And then on the next two plays, player recognition can't get it in. So it goes back to Honey Martin with what, 4 plays left or something?
No, a bit more than that, but they get the ball back. Then Honey Martin scores in a few plays, which then they're up by 6, and player recognition only has like 2 or 3 plays left, and they can't punch it in. So, but yeah, if they would have scored on that play, which flips the game completely around, because then they lead by 6, but Honey Martin does get more plays to score. Doesn't mean they would have won, but it does change how the outcome of the last, let's say, 5 minutes were played.
And this is one of those scenarios where if you have a replay in a game, we can break that down and look at it. But in real time and the angles that our referees are in, I mean, it's something
Should
you
they?
have to
Here's a
accept.
question for you, because I know Lance Daniel does the game of the week for playoffs. He's done 2, right, per whatever week it is.
Mhm.
I know we can't do it for every game, but if Lance Daniel's doing a 5B game, should that be used as a replay device?
No.
No, because that's
I've
not fair for
always
every other
said that
team.
this is completely unfair to the teams that don't get this chance. And the only reason why we do it in finals is because it's finals.
And we could do it for every team.
It's also fair
Exactly.
for every team that plays in that finals.
Yeah.
Where here, if I'm the team that's getting filmed and something happens and I get to reverse it, but if the team on the other film next to me doesn't have that chance, or Lance was not filming at that time, or anything that happens, it's
I've
not fair to assume.
I've seen it happen where you were recording the game, actually. You just recorded a play, and the guy was out of bounds or whatever it was, but either way, the play shouldn't have been called the way it was. Both teams huddled
Pat
over
Jerome?
Eagle's phone. Yeah, Pat Jerome,
Oh,
exactly.
that's
It was
he
the Terror
caught the
Squad
ball.
game.
He caught the ball. He was
It was
ruled
called
out of bounds.
yeah.
yeah.
And Wally came over. He's the one who made the call, looked over, and he's like, it is what it is. Both teams walked away. It is what it is. It's going to happen, man. You can't get mad over this shit
No.
because not every game is recorded.
All right, Takeover, third level midnight. I watched this game from where I was. Felt like Takeover never had any issues at all playing third level midnight. So they win by 39 to 19.
I love that everyone got a touchdown for a takeover.
Yeah.
It's just like Ian Eber was like, you know what?
You want a touchdown?
Everyone,
Jonathan, but he's
I didn't hit anybody. I'm gonna do it.
So you mean Oprah Winfrey was there?
Yeah.
You got a touchdown. You got a touchdown. You got a touchdown. We all got a touchdown.
Poor Jonathan Brisson.
Oh, God.
I know, right? such a. He's like, I wasted my night.
No,
Everyone got
he
touchdown
tried.
except
He
me.
tried, but they didn't have enough plays. He was next. So
3 sacks by Chris
The
Boswell,
INT
by the way.
was
Huge game.
destined to him.
So threat level midnight. This is the thing with that team is so you basically flip a coin every week. Are we getting good Joe Lemieux or are we getting bad Joe Lemieux? And they
I
got
feel
bad
like
Joe
it's a
Lemieux.
century since we saw good Joe Lemieux.
No,
Like real good Joe
He had a
Lemieux.
few good games
I know, but like
here and there.
he used to have good seasons.
Yes, but that was back when they were called Flight of the Conchord, which Terry remembers. FOTC
Or
was
Friends of the Church and all the FOTC.
They had a bunch of different
varieties.
FOTC names. It
Yeah.
wasn't just Flight of the Conchords.
It started with Flight of the Conchords, and then it moved to FOTC, and then it moved to some other random stuff. But that was also like 2012.
Feisty Octopus,
Not that long ago.
Yes.
Tartar
Yeah.
Chorus.
I remember because it was still like back when I started, and I started in 2010.
I'll tell you
It's
right
been a long
now.
time, man.
That's why I'm here.
But yeah, fact check that. But anyways, it's been a long time. The problem is you can't have your quarterback throw 2 touchdowns, 3 picks in a game when you're
4-2
playing
Columbus.
against a strong team like Takeover.
I can't eagle on the show.
Completely unrelated to the fact that you know.
Flight of the Conchords, spring 2015, but before that, spring 2012.
No, so they have one more
And
season.
FOTC, I can't find them for some reason.
I love that Eagle asked me to look at the screen to watch the hockey game as you're asking me a question and I can't do both.
Yeah.
So I just did neither and crap my pants. So sorry about that, guys.
So
And now it's a 3-on-1.
So ship break.
All right,
All
Bruins.
right, 5-2. There goes the season.
Why are you talking, Ego?
Still.
I predicted 5-3 Columbus.
I said 3-2 Montreal. Anyway.
Yeah, I saw that tweet.
Yeah. All right.
I get
Bruins.
notifications of both times
guess
tweets.
you
I
were
don't know
wrong.
why.
Bruins
Pisses
squeak
me off.
by the 8-town 27-26. Surprised by how close this game was, gentlemen.
I'm surprised by how close the game was. I'm surprised by how he played out. First of all, no Zach's running the game. He got hurt.
That has a ramification with all of his teams.
Oh, for sure. But because he's a huge piece on at least 2 of 3 of these teams. But Bruins, without Zach Zorin, Gab Weisman was forced to run more, I guess. Like, he's a mobile quarterback, but he doesn't run for yards often. He takes it if the rusher makes a mistake or if the play's not there, but he doesn't look to run. And for him to get 64 rushing yards and a touchdown on 7 attempts is all the yards that Zach Zorin probably would have got. If the play would have won to Zach, he's not there, he runs instead. And he was able to beat the rusher to do it, so that's good for him. But A-Town's a good team, man. They're better than the 8th seed that was given to them.
Yeah, like I think we talked about that in the last show that it wouldn't be a cakewalk for Bruins.
No. And this was a
And
very close
again,
game.
given especially that they're without their top receiver, that's what you expect.
Yep.
You expect Bruins to edge it up because they're better, they're more knowledgeable, they've been around longer. But A-Town was going to challenge them, and they did.
All right, so the Girl Cock against Fighting Flamingos game of the week as well. I saw a bit of this game. Fighting Flamingos.
Listen, I think it's more on Les Gros Coqs being the better team.
They are the better team.
Than Fighting. Like, Flamingos played well, but overall, like, they're not a flawless team. They're going to make some mistakes. And Les Gros
But
Coqs-
also, we looked at this, and weren't both of them like false kings? Paper crowns?
yes,
Paper crowns. So
yeah,
the Go Cock, we still don't know if they're good because they just beat another bad team.
they're good.
They had a weak schedule.
They
play
look
against teams
really
with
good in
nothing.
Game of the Week.
Yeah, but
Twice
we'll
this
see,
season.
we'll see now.
That's all.
Because again, weak schedules for both teams. So both these teams played weak schedules.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we know nothing.
So we'll talk about previews. Who they're playing. Reschedule.
We'll see
We'll have a fact checker.
in a few minutes.
So the U, Labrum, the U went 26-18. Ever Frank,
Are you surprised about this, Makwan?
no, because the U has that playoff experience.
But what about your boy, Jimmy D?
Jimmy
whatever.
Lee, once again, another shortcoming of the playoffs for him.
Again?
Well, think about it, right? I mean, he's always put up huge numbers in the regular season. I think he's had one playoff appearance with Jaguars, and they were done.
So,
That's
but
one
it.
of
like
them.
you do this, but like so of 200 teams, only 9 of them get a trophy
Yeah.
each season. So like it's like another shortcoming. Everyone has a shortcoming in the playoffs.
but
That
the
is-
difference between
like 191 teams
Yeah,
are
but
going to
right,
come up short in the playoffs.
He puts up arcade-like numbers,
Yes.
and
he's got games where he puts up 60 points
yeah,
and then scores 2 touchdowns the following week in the playoffs.
it's just
Terry, what's your
polarizing.
favorite arcade game?
Oh,
NFL
Tekken.
Blitz.
Tekken.
Tekken,
Oh,
yeah.
NFL.
NFL
Well, it
Blitz is
depends. Like,
fantastic.
are you talking about at an actual arcade?
An actual arcade.
I think Tekken.
Tekken's up
Oh,
there.
NFL Blitz
Tekken's
for me,
pretty
man.
Blitz, yeah, that was
Yeah,
fun.
Blitz.
Or Street Fighter.
Street Fighter, yeah, Street Fighter was very good. NBA Jam,
Are you talking about Jimmy Lee Janvier, JLJ?
Yeah.
yeah.
So he's very, I would say, top heavy in his games. He's where he'll blow it up or he'll be
Yeah.
dead.
Oh, I
He's
thought
gonna
you
put
meant
up
like he
8
skips leg
touchdowns.
day.
That too.
He's got no middle.
No middle.
But he doesn't throw the middle routes ever. He always goes deep.
No middle.
No middle.
No middle. He always goes deep, and he has a
Yeah.
good arm. But in this team, they don't have the same receivers that he has in Division 3, so I don't
Yeah.
think he can compensate.
So Easy W, speak easy. Easy W winning a very low scoring game. It was very tight actually for a good half and change, and then Easy W pulling away here, winning 18-14.
But I'm surprised by, like, if you tell me the score beforehand, so Peeze, I'm telling you, this game finished 18-14. Who do you pick?
Speak easy.
Yeah, so you expect if
Yeah.
ECW is not able to put up monster numbers, they're not going to win.
Because also we had a bet. Oh, I had Steel Living.
No, nobody had Sylvain.
No one?
No.
Eagle, you need to rewind tape. No? God damn, I thought I had
Nobody had
Tekken.
Sylvain. No, you picked.
Oh, no, I took Etienne.
yeah.
Yeah. God damn it. So none of us win a bet.
No.
We got a bet again today.
Of
I
course.
took Felix Léger, so
So you lost because it was
second.
Sylvain.
I'm best of us.
Congratulations, you're the second worst.
The thing with Speakeasy is they have better athletes than they've had in
It's
years
a
past.
better team.
It's a good team, especially
What?
on the defense.
ECW is a tough draw for them.
Yeah.
Because
because they also have good athletes.
Speakeasy, usually what they do is the quarterback is faster than the rusher, so he's able to beat them. The receivers,
But that's
are
not the
able to-
case. That's not the
to
case. in
catch
this
the
game.
ball and then just sort of just beat the guy to the corner. But against a team like ECW, they don't have that.
But exactly, because the thing is, Felix Richard though is a good rusher, and defensively they have guys like Elijah Blizzard, who's not easy to beat.
Great name, by the way.
Yeah. Awesome.
But like,
It's the reason I said it.
but yes, I agree with you that overall, Speakeasy, that was a bad draw for them to play against ECW. But it was still a very, very close game. Like if you lose 18-14 as a team, as a lower seed, like you can't be too mad about it.
Correct.
No, anyway. Process Black Knights. I'll just tell you one word. Awful.
So
That's
I have
this is
a,
one
I
of
have a
the
story.
dumbest-
I have one question after you guys go.
I have potentially the same question, potentially a different question. That's how questions work. So not throwing this game with Stéphane Lerosier.
That's my question.
No, he didn't throw. It was
Because
Cote or
he-
Cafe. Sorry.
So does it? Do you guys know the story as to why?
Yes.
I think it was his belt or something.
So he was declared a touch player because his flags didn't fit him. By the referee.
Well, so I've seen him play this season, entire season, and
Mhm.
he's been doing the exact same thing where he ties the belt in the back so it like sort of holds in the middle of his back, but it also goes under his belly to what is basically like the middle of his thighs, because it can't go around.
So, but,
right?
but I've seen, for example, back in the day, Junior Spera used to take 2 flag belts, and that
yeah,
was
I'm not
okay.
saying like
So, like, why is that the only solution? I'm not to be critical of our referees, but I will be because, like, I don't think you should have like an anti-fat man rule.
So
No.
just to let everyone know, the rules committee is going to look at changing this in the future. It's not going to happen immediately,
Simon
but
will
it
be
is something under
invited.
discussion. Yeah.
Okay, so he didn't
So we'll find a
throw
good
because he
solution.
was too easy of a sack,
So he was
Yeah.
worried about getting sacked too frequently, so he didn't throw
and all year they let him play without with a flag.
with a flag.
So
Yeah.
he should have been able to play with a flag.
Correct.
yeah. On top of that, regardless if he's considered a touch player, he's still a much better quarterback than
He-
anybody on his team.
he
But
is.
he made a decision
100%.
for his team.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Play as a touch quarterback makes this team better than him not playing at all.
But they weren't gonna. They were even if he was gonna throw, he was not. They were not gonna.
Even if he
Right.
would have flags,
But they wouldn't have thrown 5 picks.
But the
No.
7 wasn't 7.
Well, I have
if
5
it-
here, 2 quarterbacks, 5
Oh.
picks.
But the point is, he's still the better quarterback, whether it's flags or no flags. Like he's
I
a
agree.
very good. He's a
Yeah.
very
Especially
talented
as the game's getting out of hand. Like, why don't you just make a switch?
They,
Oh,
they,
he was
they,
probably
they
just
ended the
pissed
game with like 10 minutes left. That's how bad the game was.
Yeah, they probably just pissed off
They
that the
said,
carrier
yeah,
left.
they said no.
But-
Let's end it.
It still sucks overall that he's still good enough to get rid of the ball before the rusher gets there, even if it's touch.
Yeah.
It shouldn't matter.
So
The guy was considered the best quarterback in Canada,
Stefan
like
Alexander,
when we were younger.
Yeah,
Yeah.
2002.
Yeah. Just to say.
like 15 years ago. Yeah, he was a very talented player.
I remember him when I was in high
ago.
school playing football.
But
how
he's
good
still
he
got
was.
a good arm, man. Like, he could still place that ball well. I mean, I've seen it, but he's stubborn.
He used to
I'll-
roll up to St. Leonard games in a fur coat.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
He was a star, man. Everybody knew who he was back
yeah,
in the day.
everyone
man.
knew who he
Everybody
was,
knew.
man, for sure.
I was happy to see my boy Jacob Boydman actually be used in this game,
Yeah.
getting 5 catches, and my godson Dondre Borden putting up big numbers
But
again.
again,
I'm
you're
just
putting up big
curious-
numbers against.
I'm curious to know how Andrew Langbert's hand is because he showed it to the referees and he took a puck to the hand.
A puck?
Before his game, and it was pretty swollen. So they didn't really need him as much as they needed it. They will need him for next week. Last game, Sturdom, tough lungs. The Lungs winning this game without just Darren in the lineup. 1918. Surprised by this? Yes or no?
A little bit.
I'm surprised they did this well defensively without just Darren. But
Well,
I'm not surprised they
also-
won the game because I picked them to win the game.
But also offensively, if you don't have just Darren, that means that Gab Poisson can play man-to-man against Justin Lerner, which is not like a gimme. Like, Justin Lerner is slightly better, but it's still a guy that could shut him down a little bit
Why are you
Not
guys
in this
calling-
game.
Why do you guys call him just Darren?
because that's what he wants to
Just
be called.
Darren, that's his
Just
name.
Darren. You said, just call me just Darren.
No.
No, he said, call me just Darren.
I feel like
No,
seriously.
no,
Can
that's
you fact check
actually
that?
Yeah.
no. Okay, that's a terrible. Okay, hold on.
Terry,
This-
is that what
This
happened?
is a terrible bull crap reason from Simon. It was a joke between just Darren and I. Darren and I, because he is a Man United fan.
Okay.
I go, you just Darren now to me.
Just Darren. That's it.
Just Darren.
That's it.
all.
Yeah. Change
That's
it.
why he's called just Darren because of him being
So
a Man
the
United
real
fan.
He's
story-
just
What
Darren
I
to me,
said.
not because
To
of
be
that. too.
fair, the real story is not much better. Terry, if you can come up with a better
Yeah, I'll
story,
come up with a better one.
we'll
Yeah.
use that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
'cause
Give me-
Whatever this guy says, complete
Give me
horse
13
crap.
seconds.
So Mo got really offended right here.
I was
No.
because I gave him the name just Darren.
Just Darren.
All right, here we go. Let's preview the 5B games before we get to 5A.
Eagle.
You want to do 5B first?
5B because we're in 5B.
You want me to do it? You go.
It's
All
funny,
right.
you
Also,
told
for
the
us, it's
opposite
easier
one
to
that you
just go
had.
So
down.
we have the 1 seed Bruins versus the 5 seed Tough Lungs.
Actually, we had the process first against ECW. That's how it's listed off in Team
No,
Oscar.
but he's got the.
Well,
It's
too
also-
bad. I'm doing 1
Sounds
versus
Well, we're gonna go
5.
with ECW against the process.
it's
No,
on the
we're gonna do
yeah,
Bruins
yeah. All right,
Tough
here we go.
Lungs.
Process ECW.
But it's on the screen.
Look, he's so angry.
Yeah, but it's because the schedule on the website is the other way around.
But it's on the screen.
Yeah, but the screen doesn't mean.
All right, here we go.
It
What's the
actually
game we have,
does,
Eagle?
though.
No,
We're on a
because
show.
we reseed them.
The 1
which not like
seed
this graphic.
Bruins versus the
It isn't
5
the graphic.
seed Tough
Yeah,
Lungs.
it's been updated.
Yeah, but we have to re-update every time.
1-5.
doesn't-
Bruins Tough
Stop.
Lungs.
It doesn't.
Oh man, chaos is ensued, man. I love it.
Chaos, Tough Lungs.
Chaos against Tough Lungs.
Tough-
I like Zach Zorin. Will he play?
So confused.
that's
no,
a
he's
big
not.
deal.
And
He's
Darren,
out.
who,
He's
who's okay? Who's gonna be mostly like? Who's the bigger loss? Is it just Darren or is Zach Zorin?
I don't know if just Darren's out.
Just Aaron is not
Just Darren told me he's not
officially
playing.
out.
He's done for the playoffs.
He's done?
That's
Oh.
what he told me.
I have from a close source that it's a bad injury, but he's not. But Zach Jordan is on IR. He's not coming back.
So I think that the Tough Lungs are a thinner roster than Bruins. I think that injury will impact Tough Lungs greater than Bruins because of all the things just Darren does for that team.
I think that if Zach Zorn was present, then he could play against Justin Lerner and take him away. Now you're gonna need to have Gab Wiseman do the same job, which opens up the gates for Matthew Lerner to use someone else on that team. Is he gonna do it or not? I don't think he will, considering how they played in the Week 1 game.
How did we get the name just Darren?
You want to know now?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So I Googled it, and this is the
Right.
first thing that came up.
Nice.
So just Darren came from, he is constantly in the friend zone. So whenever a guy asks a girl, says, "Oh, who's that guy you're always with?" "Oh, that's just Darren."
It's just
Th-
Darren.
that's
All
so
right,
much
cool.
better.
Always the friend zone.
That's
Sorry,
That's
man.
so much
really
better.
good. I just
Always
think,
the friend, never the bride.
I think Bruins are just matchup dependent, and this is a bad matchup for them.
You think it's a bad matchup for them?
I think
It's a good
Tough
matchup for them.
Lungs. Like seeing them play against Sternum last week, I thought Sternum was going to be the better team,
Mhm.
and they were because health wise they were fully loaded, but
And they still lost.
they still lost.
Yeah.
But I just think that with
Like
that
his
Zach
voodoo.
Zorin,
Fully loaded.
Like
with
a
that Zach
potato.
Zorin, it makes a big difference in terms of what he presents on both sides of the football here.
Yeah, but there's other guys. Antoine Hein. I never get the name right. I gotta just ask him how he pronounces his
But
name.
Are
Just
they,
not
are they
done.
ready to step up to the challenge now?
I absolutely do think so because
now you're playing tougher competition now, right?
Nelson Pereira is a very good player. Alexandre Saint Arnaud is a very good player. Like just because you don't know them doesn't mean they're not.
I've seen them play, but I still don't think that they're ready to step up to the play here. I think
I
this is going to be Tough Lungs.
Not to mention, like you lose just Darren and his ability to rush
Well, he just
if you
has-
need to rush Gab Wiseman.
Well, he's just
Mhm.
Darren. That's all he is.
But he's just Liss in this game because he's
Anyway.
not there.
Next game.
We have the 2 seed The Process versus the 3 seed EZW.
That's an awesome game.
It's gonna be a
So
great
much
game.
speed on one field. So
Well,
much youth on one field.
The health of Andrew Langbert's right hand is what?
Yeah, that's complicated.
We don't know. He's gonna be
Terry, you have a little cook-eyed face over there. A little cuck.
I mean, I like Andrew and everything, but it's a mountain. He makes mountains out of moles all the time.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
he's
He's
fine.
not a big fan of Andrew
I
Langbert.
love Andrew. Like he's a great guy.
I don't know,
I'm a
man.
huge fan.
but
He's a wuss.
He's making it up.
I'm
False
just saying,
ground,
he
false
reminds me of
ground.
Ocon a lot,
False
where
ground.
injuries
I'm
might
like,
be a
oh,
lot
I'm injured.
worse
He
than
threw
they
5
are,
touchdowns
yeah.
last week.
Yeah,
False
like-
ground. False ground.
And then, like
Did he
three,
throw 5 TDs in that game? Really?
He threw
Against-
5
Five
and he
and
caught
then
one.
They were
and he
like
caught
from
an
like 5
interception.
yards out, though. They
and
weren't really,
then
like
4 in the other
40-yard
team with
touchdowns.
2 picks, so technically 9 and 3 picks.
Yeah.
So oh, my hand hurts, but you know.
That's what I'm
Sounds
saying.
like you're making shit
I,
up.
when Mo told me he hurt his hand, I looked at his stat line. I'm like, it doesn't correlate.
Well, maybe
Well, it
he
was
throws
swollen
one.
though. Like he showed us afterwards, it was puffy his right
Maybe
hand.
it's the other hand,
Anyway, maybe he threw it the other hand. Good for you, Lenny. That's his name, Lenny.
buddy. All right, moving on. Process these notes.
This, look, I just don't know if the process has the speed to keep with
Yo.
ECW.
Then you haven't watched the process.
No, but I'm saying from a context
Yeah.
of this though, right? I think Borden's going to match up with whoever they have, right? But I'm talking about the
Sylvie.
4th and 5th guys on that team. I think top 2, top 3 can match up well when we get to the 4th and 5th option for receivers out there.
I agree. I agree
That's
that
what I'm,
listen,
that's what I'm implying.
ECW
though.
are a tough matchup for a lot of teams, but like when you
So
when
is
you
the
look
process.
at the process are that for
No, but I
everyone
like
else.
the process of this football
Jonathan
game.
Perez can move. Noah Groper can move. Jacob Boydman.
Listen, Noah
is-
Groper, Borden, and Zach. Noah Groper and DeAndre Borden is all you need.
Dondre.
These guys are so fast. Yes, That's what I said. What did I say?
You did
DeAndre
insert
Jordan.
random urban name here.
Yeah, DeAndre. It's DeAndre.
You said DeAndre.
Oh.
Like DeAndre Jordan.
Sorry. But these guys are able to, like, there's Seal Living on that team. Jeremy White's a good player. He's not the best defender on the team, and it's going to be tough for them to keep up with the guys of the process have. So, to me, this is a high-scoring game that's going to go to, like, 45 to
Extra
45.
points.
Extra points, but it's also, like, both teams are going to score at least 6 touchdowns because I don't see defenses being able to contain, like Mogan said, if you take away the number one guy, he's going to score with someone else. And that's been ECW's go-to. There's a reason there's a bet on who's going to go
So
off.
first thing, picks.
I got the process.
Always start with picks.
Well, we should do that now because
Yeah.
we won't have time to come back to it.
That's fair.
Process.
You pick first.
I want to pick ECW because I like the way they play, but I can't go against my godson. So process.
Against your what?
Guts.
Your gut, son. Your gut.
Yeah, that too.
Very
My
good
godson.
I'm going to go with ECW just because it's a race to 40. We've seen Jeremy White do it more often than not.
Also, we're betting a pitcher. So whoever wins this bet doesn't have to buy a pitcher of the roadshow. There's 5 of us. Who's the guy on ECW who goes off? I'm going to go Theo Levine because we keep not picking him.
I'm gonna
Simon.
take Felix Léger again.
Felix
But
Léger.
last week we said we couldn't because it was cheating.
So who goes? No, it doesn't matter. I'm cheating.
Give me 10.
Who? Etienne Laurent Gervais?
Yep.
Who goes off for ECW this week?
Can
You
we
may have to
s-
buy a pitcher that you can't drink from. It's going to be amazing.
I know. It's going to be Steel Levine, I guess.
No. It's
No,
going to
you
be
can't.
different.
It was picked
Oh,
already.
I got him.
Hold on here.
Terry, who do you got is going off for ECW?
I'm gonna go Persha.
All right, Pasha's a good one. Send me
Emilio,
Pasha.
yeah. No,
And
Emilio, no?
Jeremy, if you're listening to this, feed one of us. Feed one of them.
No, just
I
for the
want to
game.
drink 4 pitchers of beer. That
Oh, can we?
I have, a
broadcast
spot
will
on
be
my, I
terrible.
have a spot on my Div D team if you want, Jeremy.
Can we flip that
I'll
around?
pay
Can
for
we-
you if you just.
Can we
make
pick
me
Jeremy
one.
White as a rusher to have more yards than anybody receiving? Like more yards as a runner than any of his receivers.
So
Okay,
your pick
all right,
is
all right.
Jeremy White.
So
Run-
I'm picking Jeremy White to have more rushing yards than any of his receivers receiving yards.
Okay. And are you going? So now Etienne Laurent Gervais is also available to you, Mokan.
I'm thinking.
Etienne?
Yeah.
All right, good call.
Survey.
All
All right.
right.
All right, that's
Yeah,
fun.
I like
Next.
That's fun.
On the other side of the bracket, we have the 1 seed, Honey Martin, versus the 4 seed, the U.
I don't trust. I watched them play.
We
Honey
got to
Mar-
break down first.
Fake Kings.
Well, I'm saying Honey Martin. I watched them play.
Yes.
I kept 2 of their games. I watched them play last week. They had a little bit of yips in the playoffs early on here, but I think they use experience of what they've gone through the rigors. Evan Frank may be an ugly quarterback, but he's always coming out at the bottom.
I mean,
I mean, that's irrelevant.
He's
to
not
find-
my type, but I don't know if he's like
I'm not saying physically
unattractive.
ugly. I'm saying that in terms of statistical output here, but I just think that U has that finishing ability to come out and get themselves a clutch stop on defense if required in the second half, late in the ball
clutch
game.
gene.
Is this
what
a
it's
most made up thing in sports?
saying.
So not the DNA part. I'm saying they can close out games. When
If
they
you're
have
looking, sorry,
No, go ahead.
if you're looking at this purely stats based, Oni Martin's a very strong defense this season altogether. They've been allowing like 16 points per game. The U struggle a little bit more and been allowing 4 or 5 touchdowns per week. Based on that, you got to go with the fact that the U's going to struggle defensively. Evan Frank, like Mokan said, it's not about looks. I think that yes, he's good. He's going to put up some numbers, but overall, I don't see him putting up 40 points.
Eagle, were Honey Martin Paper Crown?
Paper crown.
Yes, they were.
I think the name after the spot in NDG.
Because here's one of the things: like David Rawaldi basically had a 4-to-1
Yeah, give or take.
touchdown
is
interception ratio, which is
good.
fine. That's good.
They just pulled Price with 5 minutes left. It's 5.
Irrelevant to FPF.
Bit
Thank
of
you.
a jerk move, but so like he's been solid,
He's been good.
but then like the U was your defense, like so it's like one quarterback's been fine but not great. The
So-
defense of the U has been fine but not great.
So both quarterbacks have been good,
Yeah.
but Oni Martin's defense has been solid.
Yeah.
Right. So if you pair that one against the other,
So the one advantage overall is Honey Martin's defense between
again,
these two
and
teams.
if Evan Frank doesn't go off for like 6 touchdowns, then Oni Martin's defense is going to be the key difference in this matchup to me. You say Paper Crowns, I said this is their time to show up. If they're able to beat the U, then it's not their fault they had a weak schedule.
All right, here we go. 4 or 5A
No,
now?
what's your pick?
No, there's also another game.
I picked the U.
All right, we have
I'm gonna go with.
I'm going to Honey Martin.
I'm gonna go with Honey Martin.
we have the 2 seed Les Gros
Oh, right,
Coqs
and take over,
versus
yes.
the 3 seed Takeover.
It's a great game, man.
High scoring game. I think first one to 40 wins.
Oh yeah, this is a
Here's the
fantastic
thing.
game,
Here's where the paper crown gets unraveled.
man.
Gets thrown on the trash, thrown on the ground. Gets like rolled up to a little ball, thrown it in the trash.
So you're saying Takeover doesn't have a chance?
No, I think Takeover is a very good team. I think they're a much better team
Then Lego Cook?
than Lego Cup.
Oh, yeah.
They've grown from their
Yeah,
experience.
Ian Niebuhr is become one of the best quarterbacks in the division.
He's grown to that position.
Absolutely, he gets taller and taller every time I see
Well,
Yeah, he has.
he also has a bunch of
Physically.
team around him.
him. He grows physically
Long
every
arms,
game.
man.
Like by next year, he will be 8 feet tall. You heard it here first on this show.
That's how it works.
Exactly. That's
But
how things
he's
work.
like Anthony Davis when he was in high school in Chicago as a point guard. He was 6'5", and he grew into to be 6'10" by the time he was like 17.
6'10".
Yeah, it's
We're
crazy.
expecting a growth spurt from Ian Niebuhr.
Yeah, any day now.
But honestly,
Terry, can you fact check if Anthony Davis is 6'10"? Because 6'10" is pretty
or
fun.
7 foot, whatever he
I
is
think
now.
he is. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
6'10".
He's at
I
least
think he's
6'10".
tall.
Really?
Yeah,
He grew like
he's-
6
Check, fact
inches.
checked. I asked him to fact check it.
He's at least 6'10",
He was a point guard.
He has
back then.
2.8 meters.
which means nothing.
Thank you for that.
Nobody knows that.
That's what Wikipedia tells me.
Who's your pick?
Stupid Europe.
Can we talk about the game?
I've already said. Well, so I think that the duo of Vincent
6'10".
Benjamin, 6'10".
Wow.
Vincent Benjamin and Will Power is gonna be too much for Les Gros Coq to handle because they're false idols.
I think that Takeover is going to be able to score somewhat with ease. I don't see Lego Cook having the defense to really, like you said, shut down what Takeover does. And Ian is having a very good season. But on the flip side, I also don't think that Takeover has the speed to maintain Lego Cook. So this is, like Mokan said, it's going to be a race to 40. And if it's a race to 40, I'm taking Lego Cook.
It's coming down to the fact, yes, it'll be 40 points to win, but it'll be extra points. That'll be key. And I think Takeover has learned a lot in the last 12 months of success that they've had. And I think this is their time to shine. They will beat.
Yeah.
the
You got
Gold
it.
They have a giant quarterback.
Yeah.
So-
Against
He's growing
a
every
team
day.
called the Grove
You
Cock.
can't, you can't take the throwing angle away, right?
Next.
Because he's 8 feet
All right, we go to 5A. We have the 1 seed Super Saiyans versus the 7 seed No Show.
tall. Your boys, Mokan.
This can be
Super
precarious.
The reason why this game could be fun is on one side you got an unexperienced quarterback who's going to throw against inexperienced. Shut up. Who's going to throw against a very
We
good
don't correct
defense.
Simo because he's trying, unless it's facts. In which
Unless
case-
you want me to switch to
And
French.
we only corrected what he's not true. It's true. It's a fact. Fact check. Is it
That's
inexperienced?
true. Unless you want me to switch to French.
No.
Go,
nobody
go.
wants
Okay,
that.
so
How
go
do
ahead,
you-
Simon.
You're
Finish
worse.
this
You're
one.
less interesting in French.
How do you
Somehow.
say inexperienced in French?
Inexpérimenté.
Oh, okay. There you go.
So as you're saying before,
The difference is you have a guy in Eddie Lee who hasn't played quarterback for a long time. Who's going to face a defense with guys like Jordan Lara and Jared Gallant who are not only tall but will win jump balls and are very aggressive. He's going to throw interceptions.
Eddie Lee?
Can the no-show defense, as good as it is, force the same kind of takeovers from turnovers from Jared Gallant, Jordan Allard? I don't think so. If Jordan Allard, even though he doesn't score on every drive, even if he has like 2 turnover on downs, if he gets good field positioning, they're gonna win this game.
actually, this is like a seating similarities here. It's a 1 versus 7, 3 versus 4 on each side of the bracket here. Quite unique. There's no way in hell No Show's going to win this game. They had their championship game. They beat brothers.
I
Super
disagree.
Saiyans are going to roll through
I
these
disagree.
guys
I
like there's
think-
no tomorrow.
The thing is,
I agree,
on defense, No Show actually matches up well
Yep.
against the height and speed
Mm-hmm.
of Super Saiyans. Super Saiyans don't have the advantages they've had in most games all season long.
But you know what they do have
What?
an advantage on? They have somebody that knows how to run a defense,
Yes.
and Eddie Lee will not know what to do with that
No,
ball.
I think they're going to be able to do it.
Yeah, but see, like, can you foresee a circumstance where both quarterbacks throw 2 to 3 interceptions and the game's like 20-18?
I do not see anybody on No Show picking off Jordan twice. If he gets picked off, it's once, and it's a non-factor.
Kevin's going to get one. Dom Bonaventure's going to get one on a short pattern on a slant, and Eddie Lee could get one.
No,
That's
they're
3
gonna
right there.
roll
No,
these
no, I
guys,
don't think so.
man.
I really don't think so.
I don't think
Jordan's a very good quarterback. He's become
He
a
is,
very
like-
good
no,
quarterback.
but he is. I'm saying that they don't have the physical
6'2" now. Great.
advantage they do in most games.
Sure, I agree with that. Absolutely.
The,
So I
the
can
last time that happened,
I'm not saying they'll win the game. I'm saying I don't think it's going to be the blowout you guys are saying.
the last time that happened in the playoff game was in the spring at Papineau. I score kept that game. It was filmed, and I remember because it was one of those games where I told Lance it was poorly filmed. And Jordan Allard played terribly. He had 3 interceptions, a lot of turnover on downs, and he won by like a point in a 19-14 game.
Just to say.
because he didn't have that matchup that he's so used to using that he didn't have his go-to patterns.
What's your pick? You're saying no show?
No, I'm picking Super Saiyans.
I'm picking
by
Super Saiyans. Okay.
less than a score.
Yeah,
very
like
close,
5-6
shitty.
points. Exactly. Yeah.
No, they're gonna roll these guys. They're gonna truck them 18 plus.
Oh, I
and-
can't
you
wait.
and Mimo.
Yo, get that sound clip. I'm gonna play it over and over and over.
Play it all over.
if
and
no
over
show
again.
wins.
How many
Oh
times
my
do you
God.
tell Eagle to get a sound clip and then nothing
never
happens?
does it.
Never
He
does
never
it. Never does it. Never does
He's
it.
producer in name alone.
He looks at you and he confirms. Yeah, no problem.
Yeah,
and then next
Peeze,
week,
no problem, Peeze. It's coming, Peeze.
All right, magic
For those
words, please.
listening to the podcast, they were sure that was Eagle who said
What?
that. by the way.
Magic words, please.
No, there's still 3 games.
No, it's over. It's done.
No,
magic words,
there's other
please.
games.
No, it's over now.
What was better?
We
Ter-
have
Terry's Robert or Pease's Eagle?
oh, that's a good question. Go Eagle.
we have the 3 seed rolling with my homies versus the 4 seed.
Somebody's trying.
Tents and hammock.
He's trying so hard.
I so bad want to do my Eagle impersonation of him at the finals yelling at Rob.
It's pretty good. We'll end the show with that. We'll end the show
That's
with
final
that.
thoughts. Rolling my homies, very, very good offensive team with speed. The problem with Tents and Hammocks is if you can't shut down, like we talked about earlier, if you can't shut down Danny Aylward and or Alex Jotapov, they're going to roll. They're going to, they have no problem feeding either of these receivers for 16, 17, 20 receptions in one game. So if Rolling my homies cannot adjust and take that away, they won't be able to stop them. Can Zachary Kivej keep up with Brendan Aylward and score 6 touchdowns?
In the playoffs, I tend to prefer teams that have more options. Both of these teams, you know where they're going.
Yep.
That said, Tents and Hammocks literally will play an entire game where only 2 guys get the ball.
They did that
They did
last
that.
week.
Yeah.
Won. They will do it again if they have to, right? Like most of the guys say, listen, at the end of the day, we got to spread the ball. It's a team. They don't care. You sign up for that team, you're signing up knowing that you're going to get 0 targets.
I don't like the Joltopov Alward combination. That team, a lot more in sync. Really, with my homies,
It's also
it's going to be.
it's a good defensive team. Tents and
It
Hammocks
is, and
a
I
very
think
good
what
defensive team.
Mahomes have to do is they're going to be very disciplined on defense against this offense here. They cannot bite on the first opportunity they see a free play happens, and they got to get at least 2 turnovers in this football game to win this matchup.
2.
At least.
Wow.
At least, because they're so good. Like Tents and Hammocks are so good protecting the football and offense that if you can get them to commit a mistake or 2,
But they'll also get Danny Aylward is
he makes
doesn't
some
look
bad
the,
mistakes.
Doesn't
though.
look the Danny Aylward doesn't look the part, but as a DB, he's a very good
But
safety.
he's made some bad mistakes though. He's thrown some bad INTs.
He's
that-
not throwing.
No, Brandon.
No, sorry,
Yeah.
Brandon Elwer. Sorry, big pardon.
But-
He threw some
Yeah.
bad INTs.
Correct.
But Danny
And-
as a DB makes up for that a lot because he looks like he's 5 yards away, and next thing you know, he's down the field beating guys on drum balls.
Speaking of bad picks, what's your pick in the game?
I got Tents and Hammocks.
No, give me rolling my homes.
I'm going to go rolling with my homies, but I don't like it.
The 1 seed Outlaws versus the 7 seed Longhorns. This is like a battle of Texas or something.
Or something.
Like, yeah.
I don't like this matchup for Longhorns. Even if Eugene McLaren is playing better than we've expected, Outlaws is a very difficult team to play against. I don't see anybody on Longhorns being able to keep up with Kevin Smuda on any key downs.
Agreed.
So it's going to come down to will Outlaws get beat by the father and son duo of the Rosens? Chris is fast, Adam is faster, but Outlaws, this is the weird thing about Outlaws, is they look fast and they look like they're able to do anything, but they keep getting burnt over the top.
Who's the higher seed?
It's the Outlaws.
Outlaws.
But,
So Longhorns wearing pennies.
yeah, the orange colors.
But like we've seen Outlaws over and over get burnt on posts and over the top routes because they keep screaming at each other. Oh, it was your pat. It was you were.
Well, they
deep
always
on
go
over."
man to man, leave the middle open.
Yeah,
That's the biggest knock on
They
them.
do that often too. So Longhorns will be able to score, but Stefan Arpasot's going to score 45.
Tabari Yearwood had a terrible game, as did Cheyenne Stewart. Did not have a good game. I think those 2 guys step up.
So the
and
thing
be
is,
problems.
both these teams are very systemic, right? Like, you know what Outlaws will do, you know what Longhorns will do. Both of them will score points because their systems work in FPF. In the end, for me, it comes down to who do you trust more? Do you trust Stephen Harpasad or do you trust Eugene McLaren?
Well, Steven Arpasot with Kevin Smuda, who in this game cannot be covered. Like, who do you put if you're Longhorns? Who covers Kevin Smuda on like a 3rd down?
I mean,
They don't have the size.
I don't think it's one person. I think you scheme him and you try and force
But-
throws.
So
and
so you do that,
you
right?
like 2 gap,
You
right?
put 2 guys on him, But we
You don't put two guys on him. You create schemes where you're taking away specific routes with coverage.
But the problem when you're playing against a guy like Sarah Prasad is he sees that.
Yes.
That's
You
his.
can't do the same thing over
That's
and over.
his strength. He's
Yeah.
going to see that, and he's going to go to someone else completely. He's going to call something else completely, which is what made him so successful up to this point.
Because if you go, so in the past, what we've done against Outlaws and against specifically with Kevin Smuna, you go 2-1 with the Rover being the guy who undercuts the routes of Kevin Smuna with the guy over top so you don't get burned. It works. It gets Stephen Harper to look away.
Yeah.
It's also hard to execute.
It's hard to execute because they've seen it before.
Yeah.
And you're not the first team to do it at this point.
No.
in
But
time.
I also think Outlaws had their wake-up call against Ravens. They got very lucky. They were down 20-9 late in the first half and got very lucky because they played the clock well to get back in the football game. It won't happen again. I think the Outlaws will win easy against the Longhorns.
All right. Picks? We got the picks?
Outlaws.
Mo?
I said Outlaws.
Okay.
Yeah.
3 versus 4 again. Spartans, Voodoo.
Well, you know what I got?
Who you got? The V, the 2, Spartans, 2-0, 3-0-0,
Voodoo.
2030. I don't understand.
I think
I'm pretty sure that's not the actual signs for Voodoo.
no. Like
I think you're trying to make it
last
V
time they played each
and a
other.
D.
Last time they played each
VD,
other,
man.
it
VD.
came down to the last play for Spartans to beat Voodoo.
in week 10.
Week 10 in Brossard. And now in the rematch, I think it'll be one of those things where it'll come down to the last 2 minutes of the matchup again. I think Frank K and his cool as a cucumber,
Cool as a cucumber.
yeah, he's cool as a cucumber now. No longer overplaying things.
He
not
plays better
getting-
now.
Plays better now with 2 new Achilles heels, right? So, but I think
But toss up, Okan. Who needs a bigger game, Frank K or James Andrea?
I think Frank K needs a bigger game, and he will get that bigger game this weekend.
I think that Spartans will win because Mo hates them for no apparent reason. And
So if he throws 4 INTs again, he's not going to win.
they can win.
But they're not going to win this time. I don't
They
think
can
defense-
because the defense of Spartans is ridiculous.
I think that Frank is going to have a harder time against the Spartan defense than Mo anticipates.
Mhm.
The problem is,
Correct.
so if Frank has a big game, if he's able to actually read the defense well and takes what they give him and scores 5 times, they will win this game. Regardless if he throws 2 interceptions, James Andrea will not be perfect in this game because Voodoo is a good team. And if he plays the way he's been playing, 19 points, yes, could be enough if Frank K also plays down to what James is playing. But in the scenario where they put up 30, Voodoo wins.
I got Voodoo winning. I think they win by 2 points.
2 points.
Yes.
Give me Spartans by like touchdownish.
So 2 points. Just the other way.
No, like 6,
No,
7, 5.
I got Voodoo in a 31-19 win.
All right. So similar to Palpatine.
Because they're going to score 5 times,
I don't think so.
and I don't think Spartan will.
I don't think so. I see it like a 19-14 game.
It's going to be one of those games where there's a lot of interceptions and a lot of drives all together.
Yeah.
35-32 victory for Voodoo.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I think
Purdue and
They're-
Tennessee overtime.
Yes,
just in
I know.
case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
we've seen
Spartans aren't going to put up that many points. You're kidding yourself. There's no way.
What?
Well, there's a way.
Spartans aren't going to put up that many points.
They've done it before.
No,
but
25 tops.
that. Okay.
I think their defense carries them though in this game.
but they have to.
Yes. Correct.
They have-
Anything else, or is that it for Magic Words?
For everyone who's listening to this live, you can go check out your ratings on the website. They have been updated. Switch the season to spring 2019. Search your name. You'll get your new rating.
Good night, Florida State.
You didn't let me set you up like
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead. Let's do that again. 3, 2, 1.
Sorry, sorry. No. I'm offended.
Okay, see why you want to
Done, done with this.
This is
done with
Good night,
this.
good night, Montreal Canadiens playoff chances.
I was gonna say the price is wrong, and then you had to go with good night, Montreal Canadiens.
There's still 4 games.
There's still
left.
4
There's
games
still-
left.
good
They got
night,
the Jets.
Montreal Canadiens.
They got the Jets, Tampa, Capitals, and Leafs.
They need like 7 points out of 8.
Peeze,
Look at it.
there's other podcasts you could have used it in.
Good night, Montreal Canadiens.